so-called romantic dream after my regular job. Yeah.
Cool. So what is the name of the game? So consider me like I don't know anything about it because the viewers also don't know anything about it. So tell us a little bit about the name of the game. What is it about? And yeah, for now that's okay.
Okay, so the name is Vampire Fables, and it's a stylized 3D co-op game. It's mix of arcade games, some puzzle games, platformer games. It's similar to It Takes Two or We Were Here. If you play it,
Yeah.
you will find the similar vibes from it.
Mm-hmm.
It is for two people, and it is in fantastic gothic theme, and it is a really story-driven game. So
Mm-hmm.
the plot is important thing.
So tell us a little bit about the plot then, without spoiling too much.
Yeah, sure. So you can play as Ben or Jane. Ben is a veteran vampire hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and he is returning from his last mission. He is serious hurt, and he needs help from his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter is Jane,
Mm-hmm.
and and she is just a teenage girl, but she come from a magical family. So together with her father, they create the healing potion in this demo, and it is the first chapter of the whole history. So it will be much, much, much more.
Cool. In which development phase is it in right now?
Oh, I just finished the demo phase, but it is not closed yet because I have met some group of wonderful girls. Their names Katuria, and they are testing games, and they were really interested in my demo, so I cooperate with them to test this demo, and we find out that I need some much more optimization passes for it. So I'm starting to from the beginning, and I'll do optimization pass, and I hope that it will be good because I have heard that many people just can't play the game because their hardware isn't good enough for
Okay.
the, yeah. So there might be some problems, but I'll try to fix them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm planning to continue next chapters.
Okay, so what is your history in coding? I think so. If you don't know about the podcast so far, it's called The Generalist. So I like to interview people who are or artists or programmers, whatever, that can do one more than just one skill. And obviously, in this example, you have mastered 3D modeling and environment art. Hello there. And so I wanted to ask, what is your background? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Hello?
Cats. Cats are
That's
amazing.
my that was it was Simba. Yeah. Can you repeat? I'm sorry.
No worries. So I have people on the podcast that can master more than one skill, and obviously you are capable of doing more than just one. Like I could see that you have mastered 3D modeling and environment art. Like you can do it out of the go. And so I wanted to ask you, what is your history with coding?
Uh, I had that dream about doing my own game,
Yeah,
but there is mine the biggest problem because games contains of graphic of art and the programming.
exactly.
Yeah. And when you develop a small game as a small team, like 2 people, 5 people max, you have to be aware that some of the team could just burn out during the process of development,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't continue this journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, if the graphic would burn out, it wouldn't be much problem because graphic would be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. But if the programmer get burning out on the project, then it would be really, really hard to find another programmer who could just hop into the someone's code and develop something more. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to avoid this problem, and because I have I have a really artistic connected with logic mind, so I decided to do all mechanics alone, and I studied computer engineering, so I had some programming in my school, but today I'm doing my game only on the blueprints in Unreal 5.
Only in blueprints.
Yeah, I have some logic from programming, but blueprints are much more easier, so I'm
Okay.
doing it this way.
Okay, so I'm asking because I'm really interested in blueprints. And so my first question is, of course, when did you start? How did you start to get to a level where you felt confident enough to make your own game?
Oh, well, it was crazy, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because uh, a few years ago I was making another solo game. It was an RPG game, and I didn't I couldn't do blueprints. It was my idea to make game, and I thought that I could make game just learning from the YouTube channels, from tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
and I will do an RPG games, not puzzles, not racing, but
Yeah.
RPG. RPG will be my first game. Yeah, so
So you went for
yeah,
something very big, right?
yeah. And you could be surprised because I was stubborn. Experienced people told me that I shouldn't do RPG games for my first project,
Mm.
especially if I can't programming. But yeah, I was stubborn, so I just sit for over 2 years in
Mm-hmm.
the evenings, in the weekends, and I did some of this RPG game, and I have learned a lot. It was around 60% of the whole game, so I had a demo even, but I didn't publish it yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I burnt out. Yeah, so
Oh no. Okay. But you
yeah.
know what's interesting is that I can see why you burned out. You were working your day job, which is from when to when, approximately?
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a regular
It's a
hours job.
regular full-time job. Good. And
Yeah.
you basically went full in with the whole thing. So how much did you work after work?
Well, it was around 4, 5 hours daily. So it was
Wow.
really crazy. It was like a 2 years crunch for me, but I had fun with it because it was my crunch for myself. So
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
it was enjoying, but it was really draining. So yeah, I burnt out, and I after creating the demo of that RPG, it was a stylized RPG with vampires too. But I think I will come back to it in the future. I have my repositories somewhere on the GitHub.
So, you were saying 4 to 5 hours after work,
Yeah,
you're working
yeah,
on your
every day.
every day. So how did you do weekend? Like, did you continue on the weekend as well?
Yeah, if I had any free time, I fully turn it into my working in over this game. So yeah, I was really determined to do it, and well, I had some break after it for another 2 years, mostly because
Wow,
I was drained out and
of
I
course.
had to regenerate myself. But today I'm doing the new game, the co-op game. It will be much easier than that previous RPG because it is only puzzle co-op, so there
Mm.
are no animations, there are no complicated combat system,
Mm-hmm.
no enemies AI, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it will be much more easier now. But today, well, I'm crunching again.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, especially before release, it's kind of understandable, right? To crunch.
yeah.
Y-
But as I said, this is my crunch. In
Exactly.
my regular job, I don't have crunch yet. Well, to be honest, I'm looking for a new job this day because there
Uh-huh.
are some costs cut in the staff. So yeah, typical game dev today.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
apart from this, I'm doing my game in the evening, and yeah, it
Yeah.
is again a hard working yeah for 4 to 5 hours daily again. But I think it will take much less time than this RPG game because it's smaller. Yeah.
It's smaller scope. Definitely, I could see why you went for something smaller. You know, a lot of people talk about burnout, but no one really talks about how it feels like. And I always wondered, like, what is the comparison of a life without burnout, which I think a lot of us have, and a life with burnout? What did you feel different that made you
Oh,
realize, oh, this is a burnout?
well, it was. I was in this weird phase when I had to um, work over my solo game for many hours, and I felt very tired. It was like I had to force myself to do my stuff after these 2 years, and every day I had to fight with myself to sit another day and do my small dream because yeah, it was really hard for me, and when I realized that I have to force myself to it,
Mm,
I felt that I can't do it anymore because it isn't fun to me anymore. If you have to force yourself to something, then it is not fun. It is not good for you. So I stopped it,
hmm.
and I felt really empty after all the process because um,
Yeah.
I had a very big feeling of guilty in myself.
Hmm.
It was like I have invested so much time over 2 years of my life of hard working over my dream, and now I just click escape and I'm stopping it without finishing, and I felt really terrible with
Yeah.
this because I had thoughts that I have to finish it, the time investments, the money investments, because yeah, I believed in my project. I still believe that I will come back to it, but these times I believed in this, and I use my own money from my pocket to buy some assets, buy some mechanics which I couldn't develop because I hadn't so much the knowledge yet. So yeah, the investments of energy, time, money, and my dream. It was my dream to do game, and now I stop. So it was terrible, and
Mm.
I hadn't strength inside myself to do it again, and I had a feeling and thoughts in my brain that I have to come back to this. I have to come back to this. I played much in in League of Legends. You know, it
Mm-hmm,
was
mm-hmm.
addictive for me. So I replaced my crunching over my game into addiction from playing games, and
Yeah.
I spent next 2 years on playing League of Legends just because my brain had to find the stabilization which I took from it with crunching.
Yeah.
So yeah, after finding out that I'm totally into gaming again and not doing my game,
Mm.
I felt that I should do something with it because I had my dream a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I could go back to this. And finally, I decided with my partner to play some games together
Yeah.
because League of Legends is a very toxic game and
Yeah.
very
It
negative
just.
things. Yeah, develop in yourself. So we decided to play some co-op games just to chill out together.
Yeah.
And we played, as I said, We Were Here, It Takes Two. And I had this spark. I felt the spark inside my brain again. Uh,
Cool.
wow, I wish I could do it.
Yeah.
We finished these games, and you know, when you finish some cool good game, you have a hungry for more. You want to play more into similar games, but there is no much more co-op games in the store. So I decided to create my own co-op game, and I feel much more better now because I come back to my
Origin.
yeah, to my origin. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. No, don't worry about it. It's such a beautiful story, actually. You know, you found your passion again. Quitting a toxic, I call it toxic game that is
Yeah.
addictive in all the forms possible, and I feel like it's such a wonderful story to hear that you found your passion again in a co-op game, which are my favorite games to play. Especially with a partner, so I feel like you should tell that story more often. I think it could sell the appeal of your game and why you created it, because yeah, it is a personal story, and I think like there is beauty to that, and I think
Oh,
without going or without having to go through that, you wouldn't been here right now.
uh,
um
well, it's true, but you know, when I'm talking about it, I feel guilty. I feel embarrassment because I burned out. I resigned from my dreams, and
yeah,
we have a culture when the influencers always tell you
yeah.
you can't stop catching your dreams. You have to follow
Mm.
them every
Yeah.
time, every moment. And it is a very sad story, but I'm glad that I have come back to it.
Yeah. Nah, I also agree there's pressure from society, there's pressure from social media, but there's nothing in life that comes with no sacrifice, I think. Vulnerability is is the strongest thing for an artist. When you admit that you're vulnerable, you accept it, then you can accept the feeling, which could allow you to express it. Embarrassment and shame is your worst enemy as an artist, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true, totally.
Yeah, cool to hear. So you have programmed everything in Blueprints. That is, I mean, not a lot of people do that, right? So how's the scene in the Blueprint development? Have you talked to other people? Did other people help you?
No, I am doing all the stuff by myself. I
Wow.
create the story, I create the characters, the backgrounds,
Wow.
I create level design, level art. You know, I work in my regular job as a level artist, as 3D artist. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
have connection with the full pipeline of developing games. So
Yeah.
I didn't work on my regular job as level designer or programmer, but I know things. I have some knowledge, and most of the things I'm doing just myself. I'm learning from YouTube channels, from tutorials, from videos.
Yeah.
But the whole process is developed just for me, and it is really. It is freedom for me because in my regular job, I have only one task. I have to do level art. It is easy for me. I like it. I really like it, and it is like no brain for me. It's just I'm using my creativity, but I don't have to worry about all other stuff. I don't have to worry about, as you said, marketing. I don't have to worry about the code. And in my regular job, it is just easy. But as a level artist, as one tiny person in the whole team, I have a team lead, I have art directors, I have many people over me upstairs, and I have to listen to them.
Yeah.
I have to just do some uh,
You have
one
to do
moment.
your job, basically, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
typical job.
You're like tied to their vision, first of all, to their ideas,
Yeah,
to their
that's
design. You
yes.
don't
I have
have,
to,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly. I can't do my vision. I have to do their vision.
Exactly.
So when I do my own game in my free time, I feel really free over it. But it could be stressful because if I turned this game development into my daily job, like I would look for some funders for marketing, for other people to work for me. It would be really stressful. It I my whole my whole future, the future of the game, the future of the company would lie on my backs, and I couldn't do my art just like I do now, because I would be so stressful uh, because all other stuff that I couldn't do it. So the only option is to make my own game just solo, just in the evenings in my free time, to feel the real freedom.
Yeah. We have one person that follows the stream who said that they really like the plant thing mechanic that you did in the game. Would you like to talk a little bit
Thank
about
you.
that?
About plant mechanic, or
Yeah,
about grass mechanic?
I think it's the plant game that you made. You know, this where you like it's shown right now in the video where you can
I can't
water.
see it.
It's fine. It's where you could water the plants.
Ah,
I think so.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, or
Oh,
both, whatever you
well,
like to talk about.
Okay. So I have I wanted to make some small puzzle games like the plant watering, and I watched some mini games on YouTube, some mini games on mobile phone, just to see what mechanics are good to catch the player.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that the watering the plants is really chill
Yeah.
for playing, and in connection with other people, with other person who could tell you that you have to water the field on the left, then on bottom, then right, etc., etc., just to make some pattern. I think that this is a smart, easy mechanic to implement, and really catching the fun between in communication between people,
Mm-hmm.
and the plant pictures which I draw by myself are very similar to each other, and it is intended, it is on purpose, because I wanted just to um, make the players to think about details on the plant. One plant look like a jellyfish, other plant look like a sunflower, and people just have to think about the
Mm-hmm.
plants, not just say this red plant is here, this green plant is here. So yeah, this is the whole process of the development of this small puzzle game.
Cool. I wanted to ask you about how's the game. Okay, how was adding the multiplayer into this game? Was it a difficult task to do, and is it local or online multiplayer?
Well, sorry, one moment.
Don't worry, you can have her in front of the camera. No worries.
Um, he's a very
He's
attention
yeah.
cat.
So it's a multiplayer game, right? I wanted to.
Yes, yes, yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So you remember the question?
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I remember. Yeah. Well, I didn't, I didn't develop any multiplayer games before, so it was totally new for me. And I heard that the multiplayer games are really hard because you have something called the replication process, when you have to put data from client to server and from server to client, and it is a bit complicated, and you have to watch the time lag and some other stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to take some tutorials on YouTube, and I did a few of them, and I catched what's going on in the whole process of replication.
Uh huh.
Stuff, and I did it. I'm learning it still.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I have knowledge about the multiplayer creating game, but I I know how to do some things, and it's just by trial and errors, a lot of testing during the development if something is working or not. It's If I would do this game
Mm-hmm.
for one person, the whole process of development would be much more easier. It could take half time less just for one person. But when I have to test it for client,
Oh
for
yeah.
server, it is complicated, and it is not something that I couldn't do. So yeah, just try and errors, and go one step further to do my dream. And it is a
Cool.
game for two peoples. Yeah, for two peoples, and you can play LAN. You can play online via Steam for now.
Okay.
I Yeah, I'm using the plugin which uses the Steam. So For
Oh
now, it is
yeah.
only on.
So I'll go back to the question from Vixord on Twitch. He says, "What's the inspiration for the art? It gives Fable vibes, and also never apologize for cats." That's what he said.
Yeah. My inspiration was wow. I hadn't clear inspiration. I played, like I said, It Takes Two. We were here. I liked just stylized games. I played League of Legends, World of Warcraft,
Mm-hmm.
and the main reason why I create a stylized game over the realistic game
Mm-hmm.
is because I am a solo developer. And I know that I will do this for a few more years. Maybe it will be 4 years, maybe it will be 6 years. I don't know. Uh, the the computer science, the games are much more beautiful. Let's say much more beautiful with every year, and
True.
they are developing constantly. And when I create one small game for this long time, I have to deal with something called like eldering the graphic in the game.
Yeah.
When you play when you play old games, you feel that they are old. You feel old graphic, and in realistic style, it is much more remakeable. You can feel this much more than when you play good stylized game. Good stylized game. Good pixel art graphic, good hand painted graphic can survive the time, the whole process of development for many, many years, and it will look beautiful and good after these 6 years. Even and when you develop a realistic graphic, it will not be good.
Okay. That's very interesting perspective. For how long have you been? Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about your childhood and how it was for you. When was it clear to you that you want to end up in games? So walk us through, when you were a kid and how you got into 3D work.
Oh, well, how can I start? Well, I was this typical nerd kid, with a lot of books and a few friends. So, I as a child, I was addicted to computer games.
Mhm.
I spent many, many hours just playing computer games, and I didn't go out to play with some other kids. No, I just played mostly RPG games, fantasy games,
Mhm. Mhm.
and read many books. So I was connected with the fantasy stories from the beginning, and I was connected with games from the beginning. And when I was kid, I just thought that I can't see my future in a regular, boring job.
Mhm.
I just couldn't do it because I was very artistic kid. I like driving and painting and uh, yeah, I just love my school arts classes. So my job had to connect the computers,
Yeah.
the art, and my parents always talk to me, okay, if you have to sit in front of the computer, just do something smart, learn programming,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
make your real living and not doing. You can't do your regular job as just as typical artist who paints, who sings, because it is not a real job. That's what my parents
Oh,
said.
oh no.
So they said, if you want to make art, just connect it with the computer. It would be the best for you. And they had right, because working in games connects, as I said, the art, the programming. It is a really normal job nowadays. And if I would be a totally freelancer artist, like a singer, like actor, like painter, I would be really stressful about the clients, about the contracts, and
Yeah,
finding new people to work with.
yeah.
And as a graphic in game development, uh, I can work like similar, like other office work.
Hmm.
So it is really stable work.
It is very
Uh,
stable. It's one of the best jobs, I think. Although ChatGPT definitely, did some damage there, but AI people just focus on the art part of AI, but AI also had, done its own damage on on the programming side. But yeah, um, I agree with you. I disagree with the parents. I think
it's
yeah, okay. I get the programming part. It's always I can't disagree with that as a generalist, because I support learning more than one skill. It's about putting your eggs in different baskets and not all your eggs in one basket. I
Yeah,
definitely
that's
feel
true.
like the industry pushes for specialization, so they want you to be a specialist in a lot of things. But in my opinion, this just leads to the problem that you are so replaceable, and your skills are not various, that you could, if the condition needs, you could switch to another task, right? And I feel if you are a master of more than just one skill, you could switch to whatever the studio needs or whatever you need if you want to go and embark on your own indie development journey, just like as you did, for example. And my next question is, like, for how long have you been working on this totally?
It was from April this year, so not wasn't much time yet. I have created the mechanics and white boxes instead of full level art
Cool.
in 2 months. Then I did level art in 1 month, and the last month, the fourth month was just for the polishing to develop it into the Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really quick job.
Yeah.
And when you talk about being the generalist,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I, in Poland, I don't know if it is in other countries too, we have the quote like it is, if you are good for everything, you are good for nothing. But I can't agree with it. Um, well, there are split opinions because on the one hand, if you are doing the specialization, you know the nuances, the tricks in your job. And
Yeah.
when you are doing everything, but with small knowledge, it's okay, you can do everything, but you can't you can't just master everything. So yeah, it have some cons, it have some pros. It depends on people.
Yeah, of course, you can't master everything. That's for sure. That's where the say comes: jack of all trades, master of none, because you just master nothing at the end. But you're good at putting down fires, so you can solve more than one problem. Your quality, or the need of your skills, not just one skills becomes more valuable in that sense, because you just can't put down many fires. You can bridge the communication between so many departments at a game studio, for example. That's literally the role of a tech artist. A tech artist is like the person who can communicate between the artists and the person that, jack of all trades. The chat is laughing about jack of all trades. So a lot of people start game development, or they start their indie development project as programmers that learn art. Correct? I've heard so many stories. And I wanted to ask, how is it for you as an artist starting to make a game?
Well, I don't want to talk large about myself, but when we talk about programmers who are learning the art, well, it depends on programmer, because programmers are very specific kind of people. They are very logic minded, and no, there are not many of them who can feel the art. When you play games with good mechanics developed by one or two persons who are programmers, you can see clearly that they are programmers. They are not artistic people, because the graphics isn't too good. The exception can be in pixel art, because pixel art is very easy to do, to make the clever graphic with it. But still, you have to feel the aesthetic, the appearance of the whole visualization in game. And as an artist, from myself, from the core as an artist, with logic mind, I can say that I well, okay, I have to say that it won't be good, but well, I wouldn't be the programmer who would work with me as an artist, as a programmer, because well, I am doing programming stuff, but it is really brute force. It is dirty programming, because I have logic mind, but I am not a programmer from my core. It is like from perspective from artist who learns the code. The code will be dirty. The code won't be optimized. Like you can see in the demo, it is beautiful. I hope.
It is very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. It has some mechanics programmed and scripted, but it is not optimized yet. I hope it will change soon. I'll try to optimize it, but I can't do clean code, so it will be dirty anyway. So that's the drawback of being an artist who is learning the programming. It is nice graphic, but the mechanics can be good, but the optimization will lay down.
I think it depends on the project. Like, what type of game are you making? Are you making a simple 3D low poly game? You might not run into the issues of performance. It could be the case with your game, because it is definitely programmed with blueprints, which is less likely to be optimized, I think. I'm not sure. I'm speaking out of my butt, I think. But you can correct me if I'm wrong. And also, it's a 3D, like stylized 3D game, where maybe a shader is doing just way too much, or one particle system is just ruining the whole experience. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's totally true. I can make some beautiful particle system. It will kill the whole the computer. So yeah, that's true.
So
What
it's
can
mostly
I
the
say?
particle systems.
No, not only the
Okay.
shaders, particles, but I guess it will be on the blueprints too. Yeah, they are not optimized as clear code, and some stuff in clear coding could be made much more easier than in blueprints, because blueprints sometimes you have to do something around
Yeah.
to make it work. So
I mean, the same thing can be said about coding. Like you could learn a if statement and put if statements out of if statements and just like program that way. It's like
yeah,
you said with like,
uh,
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt you. It's the blueprint stuff. Yeah, the blueprints are mostly if, for, if. That's blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it works.
I mean, computers, used to work like that back in the day. You in the beginning, you're just working with zeros and ones, and it's if you think about it, like computers are quite smart, but they only deal with two type of inputs and outputs, and we still can do a lot with them. And it's just make me like I'm going now into a different topic, but like it takes me to think about like languages generally. Like in a language you have alphabets, and it's a bit more than just zero and one. So like it takes me sometimes I try to think like how smart are we as creatures, like human beings, and in comparison to PCs or to computers. But at the same time, computers can do way faster stuff than we can do, like calculations. They're very good at that than us. We can like maybe we're better at, I don't know, creating logic, creativity, but I think creation is the main thing that we're good at. And yeah, I mean, thanks for your perspective on the artist way of game development, because I only like or mainly just hear stories about programmers that either learned pixel art or started learning low poly modeling, or it's rarely the case the other way around. So yeah, whenever I can have someone on the podcast that could share that perspective, I think, and the struggle that comes with that perspective, like the game just not being able to run on some PCs or some, I don't know. Are you planning to have it on mobile devices? No, I think you mentioned no before. Yeah, because that would be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, maybe later, if the dream come true, if the game could be a successful product, then I really would like to make some ports into the switches or into the console games, into mobile devices. But for now, it's only on PC, it's only on Steam, because I would just kill myself
No.
over the whole process of optimization it to other devices. The stationary PC is enough.
Yeah, no, I got you. I don't think. I think by then, if the game is successful, you could hire a team of developers to help you out
That's
there
true.
and just program the whole game again for you. Maybe
Yeah,
this is what they have to do.
yeah, so that could be it.
So what I know is environment artist. And is there any difference between a level artist and an environment artist? Do you know of any difference? Yeah, tell us.
In game dev industry,
Yeah.
it is something. Sometimes you can call a level artist as environment artist, but environment artist is mostly level artist plus 3D asset artist. Environment artists usually have to make levels and make assets and make everything. So
Yeah.
environment artist is more like a generalist artist
Yeah.
over the level.
Yeah, I also feel the same. Okay, so I knew there was a difference, but I didn't know it was that type of difference. I thought a level artist would be more involved in the design process, but as you just said, yourself, you are a level artist. You take it from the level designer, and you basically change the assets or put them in place where they're supposed to be. Maybe there's a little bit of back and forth between you and the designer. Maybe maybe they ask you, do you have this? And so maybe you're involved in a little bit of the process, but not a lot of it.
There are some fights between
Tell me.
level designers and level artists, because sometimes level artists have a vision, the creation process, and the level artists just wanna this thing in this place, and there is a level designer who says, no, we can't do it here because it is not correct with the game mechanics. It will be noisy in the level. It will be too difficult in the level to do this in this place. The player won't see the path through the level if we could do this like the level art would like to do it. So there are many conversations.
Interesting.
Between level art and
your job as a
designer.
level artist also concludes the experience of the player, correct?
Yes. I have to think about the colors in the level art. How to connect the colors to make them visually appealing. I have to think about lighting, how to guide the player through the level by using the lights over the scene. When you use bright lights, saturation lights, the player will notice it immediately, and he will go there and he will know where he should go thanks to the knowledge of the lighting and colors. So I have to think about this in my job.
But that alone is a designer decision, basically. And regardless of titles, level artist, level designer, it doesn't matter. You're an indie developer. You're the whole package, right?
Yeah.
So you could say that you have designed the game that you are working on. Like, no one can argue with that, right? So what I wanted to get to eventually is assets, store assets or not. You have done a lot of the structure of the game itself. And I think deciding for assets is definitely the smart solution. And I think more indie devs really should take that step and polish their game with assets that already exist. Because if you look at how Sea of Thieves looked like in the early stages and how it looks like now, you kind of understand a little bit how important pacing is. What? Sorry, what?
The tic-tac game.
Oh, I'm not aware of that one. You could tell us more about it.
Oh well,
tic-tac games.
It's I have seen that the Sea of Thieves had in the early stages of whiteboxing just the capsule characters instead of players.
Oh, that's what the tic-tac game is.
yeah, tic-tac game. Yeah.
Yes, okay, that's kind of cool. I can see how people see it like this, but I never came through my mind that it would be something that people actually say. But hey, listen, I see some assets in your game, like the barrel, and I'm like, did you do this yourself, or the level itself? Like, or was it all like assets you bought and then you alternated, right? You went into Blender and you edited a little bit, but it really looks custom made. My next question is, did you texture paint anything?
In my normal job, sometimes I did, but in this indie game, I didn't, because the texture painting takes a lot of time. It's like 4 hours at least to make good texture 4 to 8 hours to make good texture, and
Absolutely.
I can't afford the time for it. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes if I haven't a good asset, I can just take a texture from another asset and adjust it to the new one
Yeah.
which I model, but
Yeah.
I don't do the texture yet because
Mhm.
this is not the point of my game. I mean, I wanna make the game really pleasant to eye, but I don't want to focus on the details
Yeah.
if the mechanics aren't working properly yet.
Yeah, but I think you did a good job with with the assets that you had. It's just like the level looks amazing.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, everybody in the chat right now is like, "Oh, this looks amazing. This looks like Fable. Oh, this video is showing a really cool game." And they're asking, is it made in Unity or Unreal? It's made in Unreal.
Yes.
Because we were discussing blueprints. So yeah, I wanted to ask you, what are your plans for the future?
Oh, well, I'm planning, as I said, to optimize the demo to make it run on weaker hardware, just to make sure that all people who are interested in the game could really play the game and take fun from it and not curse over the frames per second.
They will.
Lower,
It's a given.
yeah.
They will.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope. But I have to optimize the demo content, and uh, I will do it with the team of the girls. Like I said before, uh, they are called Katuria. Those girls really help me with the testing, with the QA over my demo.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm planning to make the optimization process, and then I will do another chapters of the story. I have a second chapter written into my file yet, and the puzzles are designed on the paper, but I have to implement them into the game, and then it will be.
How can people help you with testing?
Oh, well, it's mostly by the downloading the free demo
Yeah.
from
So the
Steam.
demo's for
And
free, and I think one of the
yeah,
mods, Sprava, actually linked it and pinned the message on Twitch. So, and I will also put the link in the description of the edited video on YouTube eventually when it comes out. So if you're watching this or hearing this and you want to test it, the link is provided, and you should really be nice if you have a problem with the optimization, or if the game is not running that good or that fast. Be nice and be critical, but like just be nice. Where can they reach you?
well, I have mail for feedbacks.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can send it
can I
over
read
Discord.
this?
I'll put it in the chat as well.
I have a Discord server too
Okay.
for communication. So if you come to the Steam page of the Vampire's Fable
Yep.
and check the links to socials on the bottom of the page, there are links to YouTube channel, to Discord server, and you can just join to the Discord. And if you don't wanna write emails, you can just write to me on the Discord channel.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is a community server designed by me just for people who wanna play my game and communicate with me.
I wanted to ask you. Oh, my question is gone right now. It was about devlogs. Do you do any devlogs on YouTube?
Uh, I did some devlogs with my previous game, that RPG game,
Mm-hmm.
and it was on the other channel. I abandoned it. Well, but But I'm planning to do devlogs from the new game from this Vampires Fable,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'm planning to do it. There is a YouTube channel, and I will make some content soon.
Awesome. That's really great to hear. Have you planned any streaming of the development process?
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. I didn't stream anything yet, so it could be a bit stressful, but I think after some devlogs, I will stream too. Everything in the future.
Yeah. The thing about streaming that helps a lot is having community. So when you're stuck on a problem or something, you might be shocked how many people can help you. And it's the fact that you are not alone in your journey that helps a lot. I think that's why a lot of devs do their, they stream their development process on Twitch because they have to do it anyway. And it's like, yeah, why not put it out there? Have the community test the game, and yeah, a lot of people actually made a lot of followers that way, and community as well. You already said that you have like a Discord server. You could even share that you're live, and the even cooler part is you will be surprised by how many people of your community will start suggesting ideas that could be interesting for you to pursue further. And yeah, there will be those who will suggest ideas that you don't want to pursue at all, like you don't want to go with it. So yeah, it's maybe something for the
Yeah,
future.
I have in this Discord channel, I have some channels to bugs reports, to feedback, to
Perfect.
suggestion, to ask for help. So uh, everyone who is interested in the game can join and talk with me, talk with other people, maybe find a partner to play because the game,
Ah,
as I
yeah.
said, is a co-op game. So one person can't, unfortunately, can't play this game. You need a partner for it. Uh, but maybe one day, if the community grows, there would be a possibility to find another person
Hmm.
just via to Discord server. Yeah.
But I was like wondering, what have you learned from a design perspective?
Okay, so from the designer perspective, uh, hmm, I didn't learn a lot from this demo because I uh, I have learned a lot over the previous indie RPG game which I made,
Uh huh.
and I have learned a lot in my daily job. So this Vampire's Fable is just uh, it is sums of all my experience from the
Uh huh.
previous processes
That makes a
of
lot of
game
sense. Like
development.
almost every indie game is like the sum of what a person learned and plus more because you learn on the process as well. What I wanted to ask you as well is like, so what would you advise someone who is willing to create a project similar to yours, which is in blueprints for first of all, multiplayer, and what else? Yeah, let's just stick to those two facts. What would you advise them now to do?
Oh, well, first of all, do not do an RPG, especially an MMORPG project. uh, yeah. mm, and the second thing, I think it is very important. Don't focus on the details. Think about the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
Make a lot of tables, a lot of design docs to sort things to, together. Because if you think about the game and you have your thoughts inside your mind and they are only in your mind, not on the paper, not
Mm-hmm.
on the uh, doc, then it will be noisy. You will start to forget about things. So it is very important to make docs, to make some time management like Asana application, for example, or Jira to make tasks to do. Because when you think about the whole game, you can start to be overwhelmed of the uh, overwhelmed with the big thing. So you have to split the big thing into smaller things, and it will be perfect to do it in programs like Jira, for example.
But at the same time,
Just,
don't focus too much on the details,
yes, yes,
right?
yes. You have
Yeah.
to know when to make the dot. You have to know when to say stop. It's finished for now. Let's move further. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as an artist you learn this. It's called macro to micro. So you start with the big
Yeah.
things first, and then you go into more details. That's why the art part of game development comes last. It's not to say that it's not important, but it's to say that it comes after that big chunk of work is done, and then you could go that further. So back to the question, because I think you mentioned two things: not to make an MMORPG. Gotcha with that. Macro to micro, but what would you advise someone with no experience in Unreal to do?
With no experience, I think watch the YouTube channels. There are many tutorials with blueprints from which you can take and implement by yourself. You can just take one tutorial thing and second tutorial thing and connect them together,
Yeah.
and it will work. So just try it, just play with it, because you have to feel fun in it. If you can't feel fun during the process of connecting the blueprints, then it will not be for you.
Is that what you've
Because
done with your project? Because I can see there are some mini games every now and then. Like in total, I think there are 4, as I can see, or is there more?
I didn't count them, to be honest. I just developed them, and I have to think how many. How many? One
My
moment.
question initially was, I
Ah,
think like that is basically what you've done. You learned a tutorial about how to make a mini game, and you implemented another one with another one, right? No, okay, but so you played with it in the beginning. You have to have played with it in the beginning, right?
yeah. I mean, if I start from the beginning without the knowledge with blueprints,
Yeah.
that would be this, like you said.
Yeah.
I should then take one tutorial over the one puzzle and connect this with the other puzzle. But now I have small knowledge about
Cool.
the blueprints, and I can develop something by myself without the tutorials.
Okay.
So
I think
yeah,
Sprout, one of the viewers, asked a really good question. I should have asked you before. So you chose Unreal, but what did you choose Unreal because you had experience in Unreal from previous jobs, or did you choose it because you were a complete beginner in it?
uh, everything. I mean, I worked with Unity engine, and I didn't like it from the graphic perspective because in Unity. The shaders are specific. I
Yeah.
don't know how it works nowadays, because I worked with Unity almost 7 years ago, so it
Oh,
was a
okay.
really different engine than today,
Definitely.
perhaps.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Unity is specific in graphic, and Unreal is much more easier to make beautiful stuff for artists, and much more easier to enter as a scripter programmer. I mean blueprint programmer, because it is not true programming. But yeah, Unreal has this wonderful accessibility for the beginners because you don't need to know the programming. You just have
Yeah.
to know the whole logic stuff, how the programming works. You have to know how the if works, how the for loop works, etc., etc. But you don't have to know what is the whole line of the code, how it works, especially in this moment.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
just
Now,
have to know the logic.
coding is very sophisticated, or well, sophisticated. Sorry. And what I like about the blueprinting is this streamline of information that you could visually see where the code is right now, and where it's maybe having the error, which is something maybe you don't have visually as much with like C# and other things. I'll go back to the chat. They're saying cat invasion. They're celebrating. They love the cat. It's going great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so basically that one of the people said it's intriguing that you started with Unreal because usually people start with Unity, and that's something I actually wanted to touch on with you. Like, not a lot of people go with the blueprints, and many people actually are afraid of using it. But those who used it say it's not as bad. So I wanted to ask you, what is your experience?
well, the blueprints aren't that bad, but they are not optimized. So
Yep.
if you can learn the code,
Yep.
if you can manage to learn all the nuances, all the tricks of the C++ or C# language, then you should learn programming because your game will be just better from mechanics and with optimization. But if you feel that it is too much, you can't manage to do it, and you just have a logic brain and nothing more,
Yeah.
then you can do blueprint stuff and it will work. It will be unoptimized. It will be awful from the programmer perspective. I mean, if some programmer could see the inside of the demo, the noodle stuff between the blueprints, because it is just a noodle soup,
Yeah. Yeah.
spaghetti code,
Yeah.
spaghetti blueprints in this
Yeah.
case. So yeah, blueprints are messy. So
Yeah.
blueprints are good for people who can't manage to learn the whole language.
But I wonder sometimes, like, if you start with blueprints, and if the majority of people start with visual scripting, like Blueprint, would it be different then that people will look at programming and coding differently? Because I feel like a lot of coders or a lot of programmers start with the code, they haven't start with visual coding, and then they look down on it as something that is less, or some, because they kind of understand it, but at the same time, what if it was the other way around? Would we have put more effort into visual scripting than it is now? Is it a, I don't know. Is it like a problem of time? But yeah, that's another topic to talk about. Listen, it was great having you on. I have to go. I'm sorry, but let's touch base again. Thanks for being here and for being part of this of this podcast episode. I will wish everybody a great weekend going forward, and for you too. And hopefully you will find a way to go through, and I'm sure you will find a job easily. I mean, a person with your skill set, I'm pretty sure that they will find something pretty soon. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That's it for this episode, everybody. We'll see you with the next one, hopefully next Friday if I have a guest on. And yeah, subscribe and follow if you haven't yet. I appreciate it a lot. We are 99 followers on Twitch and 1 follower far from being 100. And yeah, we're celebrating that soon, hopefully. Okay, everybody, take care and have a good weekend. And I see you later. Bye.